Born at night, but not last night.
Oh, not last night, no.
Really?
Good thing you would have missed it.
Actually, I was born in the afternoon. I
don't
checked
ruin
that
it
the other day.
Don't ruin it now.
Son of a... I mean, Well, go ahead.
So John King decides to lead with this.
Yeah, idiot.
And just to lead up to his question, and then we'll get to Newt's response, which was just a classic. Here's Marianne Gingrich on ABC, and she says that when the end of her marriage came around with Newt Gingrich, he made a request of her. Here she is.
He was asking to have an open marriage, and I refused.
He wanted an open marriage.
Yeah, that I accept the fact that he has somebody else in his life.
And you said?
No.
No.
Yeah.
That is not a marriage.
So that's
What they've got? This is what ABC News is doing?
So that was out there all day.
Oh, my God.
And that sets up the debate. And John King decides to lead with that number one question out of the gate. And Speaker Gingrich was ready for it.
I think the destructive, vicious, negative nature of much of the news media makes it harder to govern this country, harder to attract decent people to run for public office. And I am appalled that you would begin a presidential debate on a topic like that.
That's how things started.
He's 100% right, isn't he?
Completely.
It was going to come up.
I mean, really, it's the way they could have done it a lot more, tactfully.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Could have come up in a different way later in the debate or after they talked about some other issues. But that's how it started. Crowd goes wild, the whole thing there. And, Gingrich had a few more moments like that before things calmed down. And then...
It's a good thing John King got out of that stadium alive last night.
Well,
the other night with Juan Williams, John King was in trouble.
These crowds have been something else.
The crowd was on their feet at the end of that.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
It's like, and then, so that's just the first few minutes. And then, the rest of the debate, a lot of stuff happened. Rick Santorum had some moments going on the attack.
Ah, he's an idiot.
Romney got booed after he talked about how he's not going to
dummy.
Release his tax return. Speaking of, the aforementioned Mr. Romney, here he is on the taxes.
Why not should the people of South Carolina, before this election, see last year's return?
Because I want to make sure that I beat President Obama. And every time we release things, drip by drip, the Democrats go out with another array of attacks. As has been done in the past, if I'm the nominee, I'll put these out at one time.
Shut up. Shut up.
So that's it.
Shut up. Just shut up. Yeah. Did you hear that, Warner?
I did. But you know what? I agree with him.
You do?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Why give him all the stuff now? He's going to give it to him if he's the nominee.
No.
And that's the end of it.
Look, but you know why you should give it to him now?
Why?
Because it's become an issue.
Right, get rid of it.
Now he looks like there's some reason he doesn't want to turn it over. That's a lame excuse the Democrats are going. They're going to use it whenever he releases it. You release it today, it's over in a couple days.
Get it off the table. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
But he said piecemeal. So he wants to give the whole thing at once.
Then do that. You mean to tell me he can't release all of his taxes? I can. If you said to me, "I want you to," I just call Andrews and say, "Release my taxes." That's what they do. It's not a big deal. No, it's not going to release.
They had plenty of time.
You may be right, Warner, but the problem is circumstances now dictate that he looks like a weasel because he doesn't want to release them.
Right.
And you can't have Gingrich stand there and say, well, when are you going to release your tax? And he said, I released them an hour ago. So whatever the reason that Romney has, nobody's buying it, including me. And I like the guy.
Yep. Rough night. Now, I guess you knew.
Yeah. It's just
while.
Yeah.
Well, the economy is getting better, isn't it, Bernie? Connell?
It is. I mean, slowly but surely. Yeah, sure.
Hey, and the guy killed Osama bin Laden.
Uh-oh, you're
Plus, he
changing.
can sing like Al Green.
Off the bandwagon. This is something else. Speaking of which, President Obama, while all this is going on.
I start looking and thinking,
the I-Man's new favorite.
we're going to get rid of this guy for one of these dwarfs?
He was here raising money last night in New York, and he stopped off at the Apollo Theater. Speaking of Al Green, he was there, the singer, and the president does his own imitation for the audience.
So in love with you.
Oh, come on. You're not going to vote for him? I mean, I know. But.
This is what a turnaround. What a turn of events.
Well, no, but I mean, you got to be realistic here.
Wow.
So,
Good to have the I-Man in your corner.
Man, yeah, exactly. Wow. What a change on the dime.
No, but I mean, that's just absurd.
Yeah.
Romney's got to have a better answer than that. I mean, Warner may be right. And let's just say he is. He probably is. But you can't have an answer like that. The answer, Weasley answer. I'm surprised you're accepting that answer, Warner.
Well, the other thing is, he doesn't want to just focus on that. That would be the prime focus.
Okay. Well, but
you don't want that.
It is now anyway.
It is the prime focus, Warner. You've got to release the taxes. We've been going through this forever. His father had to release him. I mean, he knows he's going to get asked the question.
Yes.
You got to have a better answer than that. He had a mealy-mouthed answer.
I agree. The answer could have been better.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Whether you're right or not is irrelevant. You probably are right. But, I mean,
The answer was weak. Yes.
If I'm Romney and I get up this morning and I release all of the taxes by noon and then, let the New York Times write about it all weekend, whatever they want to do.
Well, think about how predictable these questions at the debates really are. And the contrast between Romney and Gingrich last night. Gingrich knew that question was coming, the first question. He's ready for it. Romney knew the tax question was coming, and apparently...
I mean, if you don't... Oh, God.
You want a few more headlines here before we move to sports? We just got the Italian cruise ship disaster. The captain, actually, this is he might actually have somebody in his corner. There's a young woman who was helping to evacuate some of the Russian
here's
passengers.
the problem. I'm too upset to even. I mean, I'm so irritated that I can't even articulate my thoughts.
Yeah.
There could be another reason. You remember how long it took Obama to reveal his birth certificate?
Yeah.
Could have done it earlier. Well, maybe there's a point here.
Well, I don't know.
I can't believe he would be
you're right.
Yeah, be that stupid.
Well,
there must be a reason, a strategical reason why he'll give it later.
What were you saying about the Italian thing now?
Well, there's this woman who was helping to evacuate a number of the Russian passengers who are on board. Now, she's defending the captain, saying he saved over 3,000 lives. Dominica Semortan, I guess would be her name. She was a translator for the captain during the evacuation. She's in his corner now, so he's got one defender, this woman who was helping to evacuate the Russians on board. So you have that.
His gumad. He was hanging out with her.
I was going to get to that. Apparently, he was having dinner with her. There was this story about how he was having dinner with this woman aboard the ship, and I guess this was her, Russian-speaking woman. Now she's defending him. So there you have it. Just let's see a couple of other things. There's a senior al-Qaeda figure by the name of Aslam Awan, who, according to Fox News, was killed in Pakistan by a U.S. drone strike last week, which would be the first drone strike since back on